Welcome to our webinar on working with portraits. This is designed to support the school annual online yearbook program. Our goal this afternoon will be focused on the functions of the program associated with student portraits. Specifically, we'll be reviewing printing class sheets for other teachers or parents to review and correct, strategies for detecting duplicate images, correcting student names, uh, categorizing students, and using the flow function to create portrait pages. This webinar will be approximately 30 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started. After logging into your program, we want to first go and check. What we first want to do is print class sheets. This way, uh, you can have those looked at by the teachers, parents, whoever. This way, you can see if things are correct. Names are correct, spelling's correct, punctuation, if there is anything else um, there. So let's go ahead and let's go to create an image library. So here in the image library, you'll see portraits right here under inbox. There's an arrow pointing at the word portrait. By clicking that, you'll see all the subfolders underneath it. So we're going to click on this very first folder right here. To print a class list, we're just simply click on the folder. We're going to come up here to the upper left-hand corner. Right here is the edit category, the trash can. This right here will toggle this folder to move it over to your next year's book. And then right here, the one we want is the PDF preview. So we're going to go ahead and click this right here. So right here, we are given the PDF preview. Now, just a minute. And then with this preview, you can print these off, hand it over to the teacher, and have them look to make sure that names are being spelled correctly. These are the correct students in the class. Any punctuation that needs to be there, that way they can write it. So next, we're going to go over and we're going to talk about the coverage report. So when these are uploaded, you will get a coverage report right here. So we're going to go to create and then coverage report right here. Right here are the list of all the names that have been uploaded to the system from your portrait uploads. Right here, you'll see like the last name, the first name, grade, homeroom. The one that's probably the more important, I know a lot of schools like to make sure the student is in the book equal amount, or I'll have all the students in there as equal amount. This is time, number of times in book right here. So you can click this and uh, have all the students from like the most down to the least, or click it again and it will be the least number or the down to the most. This way you can see how many times students are in the book. If you have one student that's doing one and other students are in 5 or 6 times, you know you can probably need to make sure that student is equally in there. Used on page right here, this will tell you what student is on what page. So if you have them in there 5 times, it will tell you what pages that student's image is currently on. You can also click on this little circle with an eye, and it will also give you their image and also the images that they were been tagged in. All right. Now, in this one, you can also change the names right here. So here you have Jay, but he likes to be Jason. So by changing it right here and just simply clicking off of that, this name is now changed in the portrait area. So you can mass change names right here. So if you need to go in and fix a certain name, like let's say they spell Kelly with an IE or something like that, or Michael just likes to be called Mike. There we go. All right. So this is actively changing it in our image library and under portraits. So we can see we did Mike Bates right here. That's in Jones. So if we go back over to create image library, portraits, we find Jones right here. And let's see if that's the correct one. Yep, Celia Jones, just make sure. Oh, that should have been in there. All right, we'll move on. All right, so once your images are uploaded, here they are right here. And some of the first things we want you to do when these are uploaded is just take a look and make sure you don't have double images. You don't have images with the wrong name, uh, or images that one is the correct one is the makeup image. Because I know some schools will do the main and then they'll do a makeup day, and then photographers will send it in. So going through here we have one image that's the same, but if we look at the names, it's two different names. So right here takes it to tip number one: make sure that you check the names because they could be twins. They could be wearing the same thing with the same background, whatever, or something like this. So make sure you check the names, make sure they're not twins. Right here we have duplicate images, so you could do one of two things. One, we can come up here, we can click on the word portrait, come up here to the teal folder, and then we can create a folder called dupes or duplicates, add, go back to this folder right here, click and hold, and then move that image right here. You will get, are you sure you want to move this one image to this folder? Click on move, and that image has now been moved over. Here you'll get another one where you have these two people right here. Again, another set of twins. But again, you could have a teacher that says, nope, this one, this Erica is in our class, but not this one. This one is actually in Alan's class. So we're going to click and hold and move that student over. Right. So now we're going to talk about tagging students. So the first thing we want to do is we also, when talking about tagging, also going to talk about no photos as well. So I'm going to do two birds, one stone here. Uh, if you have a student that doesn't have a photo or came in late or didn't have their picture taken or whatever, or it's crunch time and then new student shows up and you need to put a photo in there for them somehow, you can come down to art, come down to type, borders, scroll down just a little bit, and then you will see the no photos right here. If you ever need a no photo, this is where they're located. Again, they're located under art, by type, borders. So scroll down, find the one you want. This one looks nice. You come down to the bottom here. Come down to the bottom here, bottom left-hand corner. You'll see download. So we're going to click on that, and I'm going to download this to a folder on my computer. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to portraits, back to this class right here. In the upper right-hand corner, we're going to see uploads. It's this teal circle with a plus sign. We're going to click right there. Then it says you can either choose the folder by clicking this. It just opens up your file explorer. And then from there, you can navigate to the folder that has that image in it. Or these dotted line right here, you can drag and drop your image. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold this image. I'm going to drag and drop this image right here. It's going to upload right here. And it's going to give me the message, hey, it's a successful upload, and add name. To add a name to this student, We're going to click on this, and it's going to bring up the image details. Now notice there's nothing right here, so we have to come over here and click on the image. The image will create a face. All right, and then we get this little box appearing right here. If you see a black circle with a question mark right here, that means you have your coverage report right here. You have names in this system. If it's red with an exclamation point, that means you don't have any names or anything associated with any images. So we're going to click on this little box right here, and we get two options right here. One, we can create a new person, or we can come down right here and we can look at all of the names from our coverage report. Some of them may have pictures right here. Others, if I can find them, I think they were down here just a little bit. Just past one. Keep passing it. Some of them may be right here. It may be a name, but there's no known image associated with this name. That's why this red circle with an exclamation point just basically saying, I don't know who this is. Versus some of these right here that they have images and names associated with them. So we can either click on this right here and then click done. You will see a little icon right here that says it's been tagged. Now, the name it will show up with the name right here, but what we have to do is refresh. And then as soon as we refresh, it will fall into alphabetical order with the name right here. The second way to put a tag in there is we're going to load it up right here. We're going to add, click on the image right here, click on this little box that says undefined. Then we're going to click right here that says create new person. Now, all you have to do is type in the first name and last name. The other information you do not have to fill out. Then click on save, right? And then click done. Then simply, if we refresh, we'll see that the photo falls into alphabetical order and it's right here. If for any reason we see a person and let's pick a good one. So let's pick this teacher here. We want to put the first name in for the teacher. So we can click on this little icon right here, click this little button right here, and then all we have to do, ignore what I just said. Come over here to the three dots, click on edit name. You'll get this little pop-up, just click on continue, and then we're just going to put his first name here, click on save, and then click on done. Then just a little refresh, and then there we go. We got his first name right there. Now, for any reason we have a student who cannot have their image in the yearbook for whatever reason, for safety reasons, for security reasons, whatever it may be, what you can do is you can come down here to the small circle with an eye, or simply just double click on the image. Come over here to details, then under preferences, you will see use portrait. Currently we are saying to use the portrait. We can click on this and we can say use no photo. So what this will do is use the program's default no photo, and it will still display the name. We click on done, and then here you will get a message that says no photo. If for any reason that you have an image, say this is the correct one, this was the first one, this is the makeup one, you can click on details, go to details again, go to preference. Under use photo, we can say don't use photo. Click done. And then right here, you will get don't use photo, do not use. That will basically saying the system is basically saying that it will not use that photo when we go to start flowing images. All right, so now we're going to move to actually flowing images and setting up flow, the flow function. And let's go to plan and let's go to page ladder. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom here. So real quick, let's talk about flow. So if you go to, we're going to talk about flow elements here. So to flow a photo, so all you have to do is go to flow here on the left side. Here you will have 6 options right here. All the white squares are the images. All the gray lines are where the names are going to be. So as soon as you pick one, you're just going to click and hold, drag it over, and then just let go. And it's going to look something like this if you want to do the names on the left, names on the right, or the names underneath it. Now, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see that these two look uh, really different, dramatically different in terms of the number of people and the number of slots. This is because the names at the bottom, you're going to have to see bigger squares. The names on the sides, you can have a lot more squares because the names are shoved to this one side. So in order to get these manipulated to the number of slots that you actually need, like you do not need all of these just for uh, just for 22 images. So let's set these up for just 22 images, or at least 22 images. So this first one right here, we're going to click on this, and if you notice, there's a toolbar right up here at the very top. If I click to the side, that toolbar goes away. If I click on the flow element, the toolbar returns. So on this toolbar, let's start from the left, work our way to the right. First one is the font. This is the different font for the names. Font size. Here you can control the size of the names. It starts with 8 by default, but if you want larger, the names larger, you can click on that. This all has to be done before you flow. If you want to change the coloring of the names, you can. So you can just select a color. If you would like to put a border around your images, you can select the style and select, how wide you want the border to be around each photo. Again, you have to do this before you flow. You can also bold the text, italic, underline it. Now, right here in the middle is probably the most important one, the one you'd probably be spending a little bit of time in. This is your flow options. So we're going to click the down arrow right here, and you can actually see the different options right here. We'll talk about it. First, we're going to come up here in the upper right-hand corner. This is a little thumbtack. By clicking this, I can now move this around. So if I click off of this, this won't disappear. I can actually click back on this, and it's right here. And then I can move it to the other side, click on this, and then make some changes. This helps to move it to the side so you can actually see what you're doing here. Otherwise, when you click on it, it's right here in the way, and it kind of blocks what's going on right here. Next, uncheck automatic. If you leave this right here and you say reduce the number of, here, let's click on this one. Reduce the number of rows. If you look, these are going to start getting taller. Right here we go. There we go. As you can see, those get really tall. That's why we want to uncheck automatic, because these are trying to stay the same size as this yellow dot, the yellow dotted line all the way around here. Is trying to stay within that box. So if we uncheck that and then we start doing that, you can see that we can actually make those a little smaller, which helps because now we can start moving that down. In case you want to put teacher photo or whatever else you want up here, like third grade and additional photos or whatever. So we got the number of rows. And then we can reduce the number of columns. And then we can make these a little bit wider, a little bit taller. In fact, we could just, let's do this. Let's change that. Let's add another one. Let's go another row. And if we need to add, if we get a message like that, by the way, if you start getting something like this, it's basically saying you cannot go outside this blue box all the way around. So if we still have a little bit of room right here, we can actually come back, and you see that 6 right there. We can actually click inside, delete that 6, and let's say we can change that to a 9 and push enter. So we can do little small movements versus this 5 right here. This is like a little larger movements. All right, as soon as we have that set up right here, this horizon vertical, this is our spacing. So if we wanted to, we could change this, the spacing right here. This is the name width right here, so we can actually change the name width. This helps right here. The name width helps if you have students with longer names, and so sometimes, well, I'll just show it here in a minute. In fact, here, let me do this so that way it's purposeful. So when you go to flow, you may get a red X over names. That simply means that the name is longer than the text box will can display. And I'll show you what to do here in a minute with that. Here you'll have portrait shapes. So you can actually change the portrait shapes right here. So you can change them to any shape or anything you want. With rectangle, though, you do get the option right here to kind of put a little bit of a rounded edge around all the images right here. Next, we have the name options. So if you like what you did right here and you want this over here, first we can click on this, and we can do it one of two ways. We can come up to edit, and we can actually do copy, edit, and then paste. And then we can move that over here, or we can click on this right here, and we can come up to the upper right hand corner on this toolbar, and the first one right here under the page is duplicate. So if I click on duplicate, it just duplicates, it just does what it says it does. It duplicates that, moves it over here. With this moved over here, this name positioning, you'll have name on left horizontal. If I click this right here, you'll see name on right horizontal. So if I click on that, it just simply switches the location of the names. And yes, you can have align the names of the portrait images. Basically, what it will be is if you take two of these three away right here, it will take the names and it will move them over so that they're right here where my cursor is. In names included, you could actually put no. It'll actually take the names away in case you want to do something different with the names. All right, so now that we have our flow element set up right here, we're going to go down to the next. We're going to go to category. By clicking down this down arrow right here, you will see like the folders right here. These are the teacher folders, all that. So we're going to click on the very first one. Next is the name format. In order to flow these, by the way, you have to select the teacher that you want to flow on the page. So if you want, if this was Howard's page, you would have to switch over to Howard. Name format is first last. That means the first name will be first, last name will be last. Right here, you'll see the total number of images in the folder is 22. You float 0, so you have 22 images remaining. Here we're going to start on page 54, stop on page 54, so that's what this start stop means. It's basically starting on that page, stopping on page 54 or 55, 56, whatever we need, we can always change that. Right here, it will say the number of positions available. So we're going to come up here, we're going to save. Before it said 58, now it says 24. If, here, let me do this real quick. and save. If you ever see this red box right here, it basically says that you don't have enough positions on this page to put all 22 images on there. So all we have to do is come back over and add those two rows back again, make sure we have 4 rows. Once we save it again, that will go away. So now we have 24 available positions on this page. So we can easily fit 22 images on this 24 page, on this 24 slot flow element right here. Now, the other 2 slots will not have images, but don't worry, those will actually be in a hidden state once we flow, and we'll show you that here in a second. So we're down, we have 24 available slots. We'll come over here to flow right here. It's a purple button at the very bottom. Click on flow. It says, do you want to save? Here, let's go ahead and save. So we're going to click on this purple flow button, and then there we go. So these 2 at the bottom are in a hidden state. The rest of these images are right there. Here is the, there we go. So right here is the no photo available. This is the system's default no photo. And then you'll see where it has the red X right here in the names. That's an easy fix. All we have to do is reset the flow. Click on these, go to our flow options. Then you'll see the page width. Then we're just going to increase the width back to normal right here. Then just go to flow. If you get that message, it's just saying, hey, you didn't save before you flow. So just save it and then it will flow for you. And there you go. It will automatically save once it flows. But now the red X is now gone. Other reasons for that red X for the names to appear. If we reset, we click on this, and we do something like that. Basically, it means we got to tone down the font size there. So we just reset, click on these, and then put these fonts down a little bit. They're even numbers, but you can do odd numbers. So if you can click on there, delete that 2, type 1, and then push enter on your keyboard. And then we'll take it down just a little bit more, and then you can flow. Now, once you're done flowing, please double check the photos, make sure all the photos are correct. Please check the names, make sure all the names are spelled correctly. If you see something like, oh, this teacher is right here, and it should be the first person, I'm actually going to show you a little trick that you can do. With these still flowed, scroll down here to the teacher, and then click on this I right here next to their name. Come over to details, preference. You will see he's listed as a student. This is a hierarchy right here. Teachers were flowed first, followed by assistant, then student, then other. So we're going to click teacher and then done. All right. Then you will see over here on the left that he's now over here. So then we're come over here to reset. So now he's the very top one right here. This is how he's going to flow. So we're going to click on flow. And there you go. He is now the top one again. So that's one little easy fix right there. Then with these right here, the difference between these and these other ones right here is if you look, instead of adjusting the row and height, you're going to come down here and you're going to adjust the width and height right here. So here we're going to change just how tall and how wide those images are, those spots for those images are. And then we can start adding like another row or another column right there. Then we can save, and then we can flow like another class right there. Now you will see the names, the student name in the top of this is there's a little bit of space right there. So all you have to do is all you have to do is come down to vertical spacing and click that, and then you will see that gap is kind of closing a little bit. And then that way you can move it down just a little bit more, have a little bit more room up here. And you can size these up any way you want. The flow element right here, you can size it any way you want. It's totally up to you. If you want them a little bit smaller, you want them a little bit bigger, you can do that. Okay, let's move on to the last little bit of information here. So like I said, once you flow, please make sure you check duplicates and duplicate names as well. Double check everything it's on the correct pages and all that. So at this time, if any of you two have any questions, please go ahead and you can either ask or you can type it in the chat. Anything that you may need a little more, you want me to cover just again real quick, or any questions about flowing. All right, so go ahead and read the outro here real quick. I'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon. The demonstration of the functions related to the creation of portrait pages should eliminate some of the trial and error that can occur when working with the yearbook. Printing portrait sheets and editing class data ahead of time should result in better accuracy in some of the most important pages of a yearbook. Feel free to join us next time when we look at the creation of activity pages and candidate pages. So again, I thank you very much for coming to the webinar. Hopefully you got enough information to at least start putting portraits on pages here, and look forward to seeing you to the next one.